Long ago, I was a woman in pain, a woman in need. I ran to you long ago. I did not understand. You were making me bleed. I ran to you, and when I feel the cold in the dark, I know what you do.
Hello, Music Multiverse listeners, and welcome to Beyond Your Radio. Tonight, we celebrate and rank the catalog of one of the greatest solo singer-songwriter females in rock history, Melissa Etheridge. But before we do, we'd like to pass along our deepest sympathy on the passing of Deb's mother, Sandy Armitage. Wonderful woman, mother, grandmother, and friend. Our prayers and memories go out to Deb, her brother Bruce, Deb's daughter, Sandy's granddaughter, Lara. When we were putting together our list of 2024 potential artists, Melissa had to rise to the top. Singer, songwriter, and female rock, there's not many others with the longevity and album coverage out there. There's not a lot within the size of catalog at all. You can talk Joni Mitchell. You can talk Bonnie Raitt. You can put Stevie Nicks in there, but you really can't because most of it's with Fleetwood Mac. You put together her catalog in solo, and then maybe you got enough. Madonna is a couple records shy. And Madonna's not rock, technically. It's pop rock. It's kind of incredible. She does get mentioned in the top 30 female solo performers of all time, which is interesting, considering that talks about Ella Fitzgerald, Barbra Streisand, Billie Holiday, and many others. So in rock, who is there? We said Joni Mitchell. We said Bonnie Raitt. Janis Joplin, although that's a short career. Debbie Harry, well, that was a band. Bjork is in that list. Joan Jett, Chrissie Hynde, Pat Benatar, and Lucinda Williams. Obviously, in our comments in that, we'd love to hear from you and maybe some people that would compare. And then it came to me, but we'll get to this person in a minute. Remember, these are not bands. And they had to be a singer-songwriter. And I didn't even state they had to play an instrument as the lead. So now we've eliminated half of that list. Stevie Nicks didn't play lead guitar or anything in that nature. Madonna doesn't play. Janis doesn't play. Joni does, so we give it to Joni. Bjork, not quite certain, although we saw her live. In general, I can only think of one other individual in the female realm that plays an instrument and is a lead. And that has a longevity catalog. I didn't really count yet, but that would be Tori Amos. So that's a hell of a list. This is a unique singer-songwriter in the music multiverse. And tonight, my wife and I will celebrate her catalog, her pursuit of being herself despite the world around her, as well as rank the wonderful catalog she's put together. Accolades, yes, she's a Grammy Award winner, although she won her Grammys early and never anything in the later realms. She's an Academy Award winner for Best Song. She even won a Juno Award as International Entertainer of the Year in Canada. She's not Canadian. Hollywood Walk of Fame, which isn't awarded to too many. In the grand scheme of all the United States, I think over 2,000 have been awarded. She's not in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to keep this brief. Madonna's in. Bruce Springsteen is in. And if Bruce is in, there's no question that Melissa Etheridge should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Why? She is the female Bruce Springsteen by everything that is defined in music. So what other influences does she have? Plenty. She's influenced Sheryl Crow, Sean Colvin, Paula Cole, Joss Stone, just to name a few who she's, just given the ranks to. And then, of course, Lilith Fair. That's Sarah McLachlan, her, and all kinds of others, Annie DeFranco. So there's a long list of influences and people and things that this woman has accomplished, not only in the music history, but in female music history. So tonight, we're going to go like maybe our first 5, then another 5, then. then our final 5, maybe. It makes it easy since there's 15 albums here. So I'll let my wife chime in about her Melissa experience. You're muted, my dear.
So first of all, just want to say we love you, Brent and Sandy, and thinking of everybody tonight, and hopefully you're in a good, happy place with cats and Velveeta and all the things you like. Um, so secondly, I'm getting over a respiratory thing, so I apologize for my voice, and I'm probably going to try to keep a little bit of brief, but um, I've been a Melissa fan forever. I think she's definitely one of the greats. I don't know how she's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I don't, I don't weigh a person's value on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but if anybody should be in there, definitely she should be like front and center of a lot of the people that were mentioned. Um, I love her range. I love that she can do kind of like, rock the blues, uh, rock. She can do folksy rock. She can do alt rock. She does beautiful ballads. She can combine heavier material and bring it down. She's a storyteller for sure, and she's incredible with the guitar. So um, I was always drawn to her talent, and she's one of those people. I would say, I don't want to say old school. She always sounded very authentic, and her passion for her songs, for her lyrics, and for the music always came through. It never sounded, for the most part, you know, there are definitely some commercial songs in there too, especially later on, but it never sounded forced or like she was trying to sell an album. You could tell she loved what she does. It's who she is. So, um, and yeah, so that's my Melissa. She inspired me. I tried to learn guitar, uh, but I failed. So.
That's your version of fail, but yeah, okay. We'll take your word for it.
Mhm.
All right. So yeah, I'm in the same. I mean, the minute she came on the scene, it was notable, different, passionate. The vocals are passionate. The guitar playing is passionate. In seeing her live, not only can she play guitar, she can play drum, and piano. Uh, to get a little bit more into the history of all her songs and stuff, which we won't go into in any way, shape, or form, because you can watch her tell you each of the songs from her own bedroom or rooms in her house. That's on YouTube, which is very interesting to watch. And
Well,
she did that.
I do have to ask, what is a, so I don't agree or disagree, but the Bruce Springsteen comparison, like, what does that mean when you say that?
She's that holding a guitar in her hand. She writes the songs. She delivers them. She's got that same range and passion in her vocal that Bruce Springsteen does and what he does, how he does it. I That's always been my comparison when I say that to most people. I sometimes maybe it falls on deaf ears, but she delivers just like he does. She can do it ballad. She can do it, you know, on the river down, in the river. She can do it any which way. She can put a big band behind her. She can do it soul. She can do it blues.
Mhm.
Doesn't miss a beat. And yeah, there's like in this 15 catalog here, there's not a lot of fail. Just time out of place for me,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know. So
Mhm.
all right. So Sue, you can start us off.
All right. Um, so my number 15, I went with Skin from 2001.
Hmm.
Just, quick description, I guess, is I felt like it was somewhat countryish. There was some flute action going on. It was just a different sound for her. Nothing against it. It's just something had to be last. Number 14, I did Fourth Street Feeling from 2012. This one had kind of a sort of a heavier rock feel to it, like Joan Jett vibe. type songs. Number 13, I went with Memphis Rock and Soul. That was 2016. I felt like I really wanted to like this one more than I did. But I don't think it was bad. I just like Melissa doing Melissa. And not this. It didn't do anything for me. I think people should be doing her covers of her songs, maybe. I don't know. Number 12, I did the Medicine Show 2019. This one, I would say it committed to the rock vibe. Again, there was some synthesizer going on. I felt some poppy, like R&B, R&B vibes maybe going on. So it was okay.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you want me to do 11.
Mhm.
11, I went with This Is Me 2014. This one was good. It was more upbeat. It was Anthony. It had Anthony sounds to it, anthem sounds to it. I'm just gonna stop.
Who the hell's
It had
Anthony? I don't know.
Anthony. I can't speak. Um, it had some clever lyrics going on. I won't be alone tonight. Goes from that to Ain't That Bad, like totally different feeling. It jumped around to different sorts of covers of different sorts of sounds. So, yeah, my top,
Okay.
my bottom 5.
Bottom 5. So my bottom 5, kind of in the, I don't know, the first thing, the Memphis one, and I noticed that Memphis had the me thing in it. I'm like, okay, are we going back to This Is Me? And okay, if this is the soul, this is the soul covers, basically R&B covers. This so much reminded me of Phil Collins going back, and that album sucked. And this album just was not. This is totally an outlier. There's one other outlier, but it's not a bad outlier. The next was The Awakening. I just didn't remember it. I don't know if it was just lower key, more contemporary to me. I understand that the depth of it, but I don't know, it just didn't connect with me. 13 was Fearless Love. It was another one that I think I brushed over and didn't appreciate. I was actually at the end of my list until I listened to it again during this episode forthcoming, and it kind of moved up a little bit. So it's something that might frame of mind. It's just, again, when I talk about her catalog, it's the frame of mind you are at that time, what she was doing at that time, and you'll see a pattern to this. Then my number 12 is This Is Me. We were back. There were some good tracks on there, but I felt like the album cover and its fuzziness, that's how it was for me. It faded away in memory. And then my 11 is 4th Street Feeling. And 4th Street Feeling for me would have been higher. If I'm not mistaken on how that all went down, the first couple of tracks I was not engaged with, and then the album suddenly turned much harder, much heavier, and I liked all that, but I did feel that it was overproduced to do that on purpose, and it kind of lost a little bit of that for me, but I thought it was like, boy, was really going for it at that point. So that was those are my bottom 5. So you're 10, 9, 8, 7.
All
10,
right.
9, 8, 7, 6, sorry.
Okay. Fearless Love 2010 is number 10. I liked the energy with this album. It felt fresh. But I felt that it had some nods to her origins, to be honest. The lyrics were careful, they were poignant, and I liked the folksy tone it had. It was one of those albums. There was a lot of gentle kind of songs to it, but they were still powerful. I went with The Awakenings was my number 9. It had some beautiful songs, lyric harmony, sound. I liked the guitar on it. And there were some bluesy licks that jumped out at me. Number 8 was One Way Out 2021. This one I felt like, and I don't really remember it very much. 2021 was one of those crazy years, I guess. It had like a nice, gritty, grungy sound to it. To me, it felt solid. I liked the harmonica. It felt pretty nice. Number 7, I went with Your Little Secret. Excuse me, from 1995. This album was edgy and intimate. Of course, Your Little Secret, I Want to Come Over were big hits on the radio. That you would be familiar with if you're not familiar with the album. And then my number 6, I went with Lucky from 2004. Words to describe it was full of gratitude. It's a blend of rock, folk, soul. Songs that stuck out for me are Lucky, This Moment, If You Want To, Meet Me in the Dark, and Come On Out Tonight. Some really good songs there. So that's it.
Cool. All right. So let's see, this is number 10, right? So number 10, I went with the concept record, The Medicine Show. Folk, kind of a darker country folk rock album. It took a bit to get into, but I thought it was worthy of a chance, an option. This is besides the first outlier I talked about, which was that soul R&B cover thing. This is the biggest outlier in the catalog, but it's just done pretty darn well, and it's different enough for me. So that's number 10. Number 9, I agree with you with Lucky. At your number 6, I thought Lucky had those songs on it too. Lucky was kind of juxtaposing up and down during this whole thing, and I started to grow attachments to other things, so that Lucky wound up being where it is. And these all are kind of tight. Number 8, Breakdown, wound up being on my list there at number 8. It had everything that an Etheridge album has. I thought it was a return, so to speak, at that point. Although still progress too. 7, I don't know. I've always liked Skin. I always, I don't know what it was about it. The flow of the record's really, really good. The production's excellent. Another one of those areas, I think Skin and Breakdown were in the same years, back to back or something like that. So they kind of run together. And number 6, One Way Out. I was stunned. I thought it was going to get a record that, I don't know, that just, it was thrown together at the last minute, maybe just the way it looked, the way it felt. And then when I heard it, I'm like, wow, this is Etheridge, not letting age or anything destroy anything going on. And let's just understand a few things real quick. If you don't know, cancer survivor, and in that, and she, from if you listen to her talk, she'll tell you that because she didn't have to work, they loaded her. You know what I mean? Some of us who have to work, they're going to get cancer. They're not going to go all 10 guns on you. So she was up and she was down. Then she had the kids. And then of course she loses her son to addiction, too. So rough. And then here she is, still the same, poet and songwriter and deliverer. I mean, she could listen, when you've got this much in this 30-year catalog, you don't have to do this. And she's a fighter all through and through. So that's my getting to 6. So we're on the top 5, and go ahead, Sue.
Right. And Skin, by the way, was 2001, so pretty close.
Yeah.
So my top 5, honestly, I think I love them all. They could probably all just continue to play. They have similar vibes, similar time frame too, but
Similar
I think
features.
pretty sure it is. So my number 5, I went with Breakdown, 1999. I'm gonna have like a Peter Brady voice break. So this one was just heartfelt. It spans all the emotions. Angels Would Fall, How Would I Know, Stronger Than You, name a few. My number 4, I went with Yes I Am, 1993. This one just has an air of feeling and empowerment. Um, it was very radio friendly. This is where I was kind of like, oh, okay, now everybody is jumping on the Melissa bandwagon with "Come to My Window," which played every 2 seconds and was in every commercial and everything else. I'm the only one. Yes, I am. If I wanted to, I'll never be the same. Come, All American Girl, all really good songs. But for some reason, Come to My Window, 24/7. Um, my number 3, I went with Melissa Etheridge from the 88 debut.
Debut.
Yeah. I mean, she showed her talent right out of the gate, really. She already sounded vetted really and had the emotional depth and skill. Um, whoever I can't remember. I don't have the details now. I've read about it, but I don't remember now. But that must have been a pretty cool moment and a nice find to be like, oh wow, look at this. Um, to know what was just discovered and so that album, of course, similar features, occasionally Chrome Plated Heart, Like the Way I Do, Bring Me Some Water. Just all incredible songs. Number 2, Never Enough, 1992. This one was, I would say, soulful, raw. It was kind of a powerful album. I mean, like almost every song is, Ain't It Heavy, Dance Without Sleeping. Must Be Crazy for Me, The Boy Feels Strange, Letting Go. 2001, Meet Me in the Back, It's Precious, It's For You. Like, how does somebody write all those great songs? I don't know, but she did, and she played them all too. So kudos to her. I don't think there's that many people out there that put out an album with like every song could have been a number 1, really, but number 1 went to Brave and Crazy. This one again, intense, introspective. She just from start to finish, all great songs. No Souvenirs, The Angels, Let Me Go, Brave and Crazy, You Can Sleep While I Drive, Used to Love to Dance, Testify, all the rest. Two real, number 1 and number 2 are just both powerhouse albums. But like I said, all top 5. It was really hard to pick, but so
Yeah, I mean, there's the final 5. Could it be in different orders at different times? Maybe. 2 of them are near perfect records. So they're hard to knock around. Her debut is probably one of the best female debut albums in rock history. Just her playing guitar and drum on the guitar was totally unique. And in concert, she can be with a band and she can just stand there by herself and get it done, which there's not, you can have a piano and do that. That's hard with a guitar. I liken her to Neil Young at that point. She can just make it happen that way too. So yeah, my number 5 is Your Little Secret. Why? It'll always be 5. It'll never crack it out of, because it had some commercialism to it, playfulness that I think it fit very well, but it does drop her normal conviction. It seems a little bit playful. I maybe it was meant to be in playful, but I guess that's why when it comes to those other ones, they just seem so freaking sincere. And obviously, when you're listening to those songs, you're thinking about your love, your passion, all that. And obviously she was singing in regards to her love and her passion, which at that point wasn't really maybe known that well. And that was dangerous times and things that she still did it anyway. And that's what's the fantastic part of her. Number 4 for me is the debut. I know it seems a little, it's hard, but something had to be number 4. So I put that there's not a bad song on that album at all. And just maybe production wise, a little dated.
Yeah. Little tinny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the one thing about her albums in the first few, the bass comes in at number 3.
Hmm.
Never enough. The bass starts to have a little bit more prominence in that. Um, I've always been, you know, that's a really good record,
Yeah.
start to finish. So then the two that are flawless, my number 2 is Brave and Crazy. This Souvenirs, No Souvenirs might be my favorite song of hers. It's speaking about a lot of things. Uh, but Brave and Crazy, you mentioned them all. I mean, even Royal Station at the end
Mhm.
is magnificently done, and
Yeah.
she could have dialed it in at that point. But and
Yeah.
then my number 1, I know it seems, but this was the commercial success, but there's a reason why, right? Because I don't, it's like people in Metallica, they sold out. No, you're just pissed because everybody else loves it now too, right? And this was somebody, um, God, did somebody big do this record? I didn't even think. I should have looked. Is this one of those records done
She's
by
worked with a lot of people. So.
Tom Lord Alge or something? Was this
Mhm.
I don't know, I didn't look, but this is a burner from beginning to end. It's flawless. And
Mhm.
the singing, the songwriting, the production, everything. And if somebody was going to say to me female rock albums of all time, it might be one or two. And just so well done, every bit of it. So
Yeah.
I'll thank the Sue to come on and do this in her Brady voice.
Try not to cough, people.
Yeah, well, you did a marvelous job. Marvelous job with all that.
Okay.
So tell us what you think. What do you think of Melissa Etheridge's catalog? Is it worthy of not only, this 30 years in the business? Is she worthy of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I don't even think it's a question. It should have happened years ago. I don't even know how many times she's been nominated. If that's the case, I don't pay attention to that stuff. Um, I think it is worthy though of discussion, sort of like
Mhm.
our NXS show, where that's another one.
Yep.
We're on the web at beyondyourradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course. Everything about music, bands, artists, albums. We'll be doing catalog review show again. And guess what? For some reason, I'm a glutton for punishment. The next one up is Meatloaf, and that's another dozen albums. So, but the Grateful Dude and Everett want to do that, and I have to say that I haven't listened to much Meatloaf besides. It just seems like if it has Bat Out of Hell, all right. If it doesn't, no. But I'm
Yeah.
going to find out what the truth really is. So go beyond your radio with us, a real music appreciation channel. Until next time, happy listening.
Same.